Saskatchewan Roughriders have played in 11 Grey Cups. 3 times now, Regina has been named host for the championship. And football fans in Grey Cup host cities always dare to dream their team will be on the field for that final game.
You know as well as I do what it would be like around here. It would be great, actually. It'd be great for this province, it'd be great for this city, and you know, quite frankly, it'd be really good for the league.
In the 100th Grey Cup in Toronto, the host team not only played in the championship, the Argos won it. Toronto has held the Grey Cup game 47 times since the trophy was donated by former Governor General Earl Grey in 1909. The BC Lions joined the CFL in 1954, and a year later, Vancouver was the site of the final. Vancouver has been home to the Grey Cup game second most, a total of 15 times. Since the beginning, with some exceptions, an East versus West format has determined the final 2 teams vying for the championship. And some Grey Cup games are remembered for the conditions in which the game was played more than the venue or the game itself. In 1991, Winnipeg hosted the Grey Cup, and that started people thinking that Regina might someday take a turn.
Well, I think growing up as a kid, being right across the street from Taylor Field was really special. But as a kid, I don't think I ever thought Regina could host a Grey Cup, only because I think at that time across Canada we were looked at as pretty small town type of thing, and the Vancouvers and the Torontos always hosted the Cups. I never dreamed it would happen for Saskatchewan, but it's been great.
Saskatchewan Roughriders will be hosting the 1995 Grey Cup.
In 1995, for the first time, the province of Saskatchewan and its capital city of Regina hosted the event. The CFL's smallest city made preparing for that game a community effort. The 95 theme, Huddle Up in Saskatchewan, acknowledged not only the possibility of cold November weather, but the warm, friendly spirit behind it.
In 1995, Regina showed what can happen when an entire province, when an entire city rallies around one event, one that does not feature the host team and never had a chance of featuring the host team. They were just so happy to have that event in town, and the way that week unfolded, that was just a dream.
The 1995 Regina Grey Cup almost put a mark in history, not only for being the first in the province, but like those other famous Grey Cups, memorable for the elements.
We had, the stands went up, I think, to 90, it was either 85 or 95 rows, so quite a bit higher than that. And pre-game, about 3 hours prior, when we can try to get everybody to come to the field early, the insurance expires when the winds hit 85 kilometers an hour, so we couldn't let people in the stands until we were sure that the winds weren't going to reach that.
As it was, the 95 Grey Cup still made a singular mark on Canadian football history. The Baltimore Stallions, playing in their second straight Grey Cup, won 37-20 over the Calgary Stampeders, the only time an American-based team captured the Grey Cup.
It's kind of something now that I look back at. It was pretty special because nobody thought we'd have a Grey Cup, and then to have an American team come in and to win it in Regina, I guess that's pretty special for the CFL.
In 2003, the second Regina Grey Cup and the 91st Grey Cup game featured a spirit of community and a festival atmosphere. The theme of Flat Out in Saskatchewan referenced both the provincial topography and the ethic of the residents. The weather that day was all that could be asked for, as more than 50,000 fans watched the Edmonton Eskimos beat their perennial Grey Cup rivals, the Montreal Alouettes, 34-22. 10 years later, Regina and Saskatchewan hosts its third National Football Championship, the 101st Grey Cup.
CFL went to great lengths to have the 100th Grey Cup in Toronto, the home of the league, I guess. And we were both in Toronto for that, but everywhere I went, I don't know if it was the same for Carm, everybody from Toronto said this should be in Regina, this should be in Regina, because it's 100 years, should be in Regina. And then all anybody wanted to talk about was next year, the 101st Grey Cup, 2013. It turned out to be great in Toronto, probably the best one they ever hosted, but everybody said it should have been in Regina. So that should tell you what people think about Regina.
The combination of small city and a big province again means a high level of volunteers and community support is required to ensure success and give the Grey Cup that true prairie feel.
From the very first day we announced it, the emails coming in, the phone calls coming in of people wanting to be involved in the planning committee.
Come on into our home. it was a wonderful idea. They come up with it, and the Saskatchewan people open arms, and to invite the country to celebrate the festivities and be part of the Grey Cup, and we're tremendous hosts. You know, Saskatchewanites are the best hosts in the whole world.
Nobody can put on a Grey Cup like Regina when it's here. And everybody, everywhere it goes, it's going to be a great festival. But this is where football is king.
I've just always so impressed with the people that we've been able to put around the table. Totally engaged, committed, absolutely to what we're trying to accomplish here, to make it a celebration to remember.
But all of a sudden to be here with the fans, with the best fans in the CFL, or probably of any organization in any major sport, here, and that's what made it special. And to see people crying, and I don't mean young people, I'm talking about older people than I am, men in the stands crying because they got to be part of it. Saskatchewan got to be part of this Grey Cup, and I think that's what made it special, and that's what set it different than any other one.
So easy to focus on Rough Riders 45, Hamilton 23, that you lose touch with what a superbly organized event it was. And there's one that went off without a glitch, unless you consider massive lineups to get into Riderville a glitch. That was unavoidable. It was too popular for its own good.
When the championship game is played in this city, everybody's part of it. The volunteers, the thousands of volunteers that are part of it, they're all trying to be a little bit piece of history, and make sure that every fan that comes through Saskatchewan knows that this is the heart of football in the country.